तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं वन्दते गिरिं यत्कृपाकमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वर। My humble respects to all the devotees who have assembled here today for this very beautiful festival of Advaita Saptami. Today is the Saptami. And also we are celebrating this general season of spring and Vasanta Panchami. So welcome all, my deepest respects to the lotus feet of Mother Kamagiri, who's our mother, and my respects to the lotus feet of Chanakya Pandit Prabhu for being here and for serving Shishira so well. And my gratitude to all the devotees who are serving, specifically Ram Prakash Prabhu, Gurudev Prabhu and Subal Sakha Prabhu and their families. So thank you for being here with us and cooking this feast today and organizing. Devotees, I don't know if you noticed, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, devotees have offered red roses to Shishira Prabhupada. So those devotees who have made this, you can see the garland on Srila Prabhupada. I don't know who did that. Who did that, Charita? You know? Sarvashweta did this?
No.
Let's give a big round to Sarvashweta.
No problem.
And children?
Several devotees did, Prabhu.
I did.
Yeah.
Let's give a round of applause to Manu Shrestha. Let's hear it. We have this beautiful garland which are offered to Radha Nadpur and this flower decoration. And we have a deity of Srila Advaita Acharya here. So we'll talk about Advaita Acharya today and we'll go until about 8:15. We'll have some question and answers. Then there is stand-up kirtan, no?
No stand-up kirtan, but there's a bhajan and followed by Narsingh prayers.
Bhajan, Narsingh prayer announcements. And then we'll have some prasadam, okay, devotees. Today we call it the AAA day. In January I have to renew my AAA membership. Our first festival of the year is Advaita Acharya's appearance day. I was making some notes today. AAA. Anyway, good to have a AAA membership. So AAA day, Advaita Acharya's appearance day. The significance of this day, our main festival for the first main festival of the year, we followed by Nityananda Trayadashi, followed by Gaura Purnima, followed by Ram Navami, and Shinga Chaturdashi, then Janmashtami, Radhashmi, Balram Purnima, and Govardhan Puja. So many beautiful festivals come. And these festivals are very special, and great opportunity to connect with the Lord, to pray to the Lord for direction, to pray to Paramatma, to give guidance to life. It's a new year, right? So it's kind of a new year, new beginning. So these festivals, especially these 2-3 festivals in the beginning, we can pray to Paramatma, to Super Soul, to guide our life, to not commit major Vaishnava aparadh, to be strong in our sadhana, to be strong in our scriptural reading and understanding, and to get some realization. So that is the general mood of the devotee on a festival day. It's how I can collect mercy. Mercy of the Lord is flowing on the special days. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said every day is a holiday for us. Every day is a holy, he said every day is a holy day for us. So, but these festival days are specifically very, very empowered, tithi-wise, nakshatra-wise, constellation-wise, appearance-wise. Lord makes his appearance on a very special day, right? So constellation-wise, it's a very, very beautiful time to reflect, to contemplate, to meditate, and to go ahead and go forward, and to recommit our vows and to renew our vows. It's also in a way a renewal. This month of February, renewal of energy, renewal, revitalization, and replenishment of energy. Srila Advaita, we are all sitting here because of Srila Advaita Acharya. So, Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna, very important words from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna. Krishna has Panch Tattva. Krishna has appeared, and Rohit, for you, some of the things may be new, but there are many beautiful books on Advaita Acharya. We have a book called Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, Panch Tattvatmakam, Krishna has come as 5 Tattva. Tattva means truth. The English word truth comes from the Sanskrit word Tattva. Tattva becomes Tat. Tat becomes truth. So, Panch Tattvatmakam Krishna. Krishna has come as 5 truth, 5 features to defeat Mayavad, that not all is one. There are 5 different features of Krishna. And what are these 5 different features of Krishna? When we say Bhagavan, Bhagavan has 5 features. So Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhakta Rupa. Bhakta Rupa. He comes as his own devotee. Who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So the form of the devotee is also Krishna. A pure devotee of Bhagavan is an ambassador of Bhagavan. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadad nagati kutopi. Dhyan swam. That's 3 times I meditate on the Guru. So Bhakta Rupa, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this time came in the form of a devotee, in the garb of a devotee, to teach us what to do. So we have a living example. Krishna came, he did Leela, which we cannot do. It was 5,000 years ago. He displayed his splendor as Bhagavan. Hardly possible for anyone to accomplish what he did, and people have forgotten Krishna. So Sri Chaitanya, Krishna again came, in this time in 5 different features. Krishna and Radha, they both came, we'll talk about this. They came again to teach people the process of bhakti, the process of devotional service, how we can live our life. Mahaprabhu very beautifully exemplified. And 24 years as a grihastha, had a very normal life, normal childhood upbringing, got married twice, lived a grihastha life, opened a school, was a teacher, Yadunath Prabhu, your Bliss Institute. So Mahaprabhu opened a school in Navadvip. Navadvip was a place of education and learning. Advaita Acharya Prabhu had opened a school. So Navadvip University, Navadvip Vishwavidyalaya. And in that Vishwavidyalaya, people would actually come from all over the world to study, from China, Korea, Japan, Bhutan. Buddhist monks will come to study Vedanta. There are 6 different darshans of philosophy, and Navadvip was specifically renowned for Vedanta, Vedas. So Mahaprabhu lived 24 years as a grihastha, and then 24 years he lived as in the renounced order of life, relishing the highest limit of Raganuga sadhana bhakti, bhava, prema, and through his own example in Jagannath Puri. And then he also took an extended pilgrimage for 6 years. So 24 years as a grihastha, took 6 years of pilgrimage. Very, very important part of Vaishnava life, to take time to time, take some time out and go on a pilgrimage. We'll see from Advaita Acharya's life, Lord Balaram's life, Nityananda Prabhu's life, Mahaprabhu's life. Took extended pilgrimage for 6 years on the foot, just going like a wandering mendicant, village to village, town to town, going to the tip of South India, where you cannot go any further, went all the way up to Kashmir and then came back. So that's one idea. The second idea, to Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna, Bhakta Rupa. Bhakta Rupa is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Swarupakam. Swarupa. His Rupa becomes Swarupa, expansion. Rupa, you add Swarupa. Swarupa, which is Nityananda Prabhu, Balaram. Nityananda Prabhu, his first expansion. So Rohit, you see these deities here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. They are Krishna and Balaram. Okay. So Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna, Bhakta Rupa, Swarupakam, Bhakta Avataram. Bhakta Avataram is Sri Advaita Acharya. His avatar, his descent, and we'll talk about that in detail. We'll finish this verse first. So Bhakta Rupa, Swarupa, Bhakta avataram, bhakta akhyam. Bhakta akhyam means pure devotee. Akhyam is pure devotee, Narad Muni or Srivastava. Bhaktakyam namami, I pray to Bhakta Shaktikam. Bhakta Shaktikam is Gadadhar Pandit, Ramananda Roy, Swarup Damodar. This is Bhakta Shaktikam. So Bhagwan is complete in 5 features. Bhagwan has 5 features. Panch Tattva. Bhagwan is there. His devotee, his pure devotee is there. His descent as avatars are there. People say everything is one. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to defeat this idea. Not everything is one. You know, this is multifarious. You know, multifarious monotheism. Multifarious monotheism. Bhagwan has 5 different energies. Bhagavan, Bhakta Rupa, Bhakta Swarupa, his incarnations, which are described in the Vedas as many as there are waves in the ocean. And Bhagavan takes his avatars. Bhagavan also gives his Shakti into several avatars. Srila Prabhupada himself said, Vishnu Jahan Maharaj is the Shakteshwar avatar of Kirtan. You see? So Bhagavan can manifest his potency in many different ways. It is not that, you know, there was one prophet who came after this, there is nothing. This guy is the only guy, there's nothing. Bhagavan comes in many ways, you know. He comes and he imparts, and the first thing is Bhakta Rupa. He comes in the form of a devotee. He empowers different people to give different principles of religion. So gurus and mystics and saints and teachers, they appear in every tradition. They differ in their potency. They differ in their potency. They also differ, sometimes according to time, place and circumstances, to the depth of knowledge they have given. They differ, number one, in their potency, and they differ in the depth of knowledge they have given. What has somebody given? So sometimes people ask, is this person bona fide? I said, very simple. You just read what he said. You have to understand. You have to read what he said. You know? What did he teach? And those teachings are there. You know, great teachers, their teachings are there in their books and their lectures. So Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram. And Krishna comes in many different avatars. He comes as Shakti-Vesh avatars in many different forms. Bhagavatam, there is a whole list of Shakteshwar avatars. In fact, Srila Prabhupada is considered as a Shakteshwar avatar. Anybody who preaches Krishna consciousness far and wide, he's considered a Shakteshwar avatar. Maybe the potency may be different. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Tara Parivartan. Nobody can preach without being infused by Krishna Shakti. So when we see with some very far out, very amazing preaching going on somewhere, then we have to acknowledge that. If somebody is giving God consciousness to people, then we have to acknowledge that. So we acknowledge different teachers. Yes, you know, he was infused by the Shakti of the Bhakta Avataram, Bhakta Akhyam. Akhyam means pure devotee, which is Narad Muni, who comes as Srinivas Pandit. And of course his brothers, and there were many pure devotees who took birth when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. When Bhagwan or his incarnation comes, you will see that the spiritual energy of the place is uplifted in general. So many pure devotees, either they take birth or they come from different planets. Another, I'll give you one little tidbit. You organize a big festival for Krishna, Janmashtami, or some Sankirtan festival. From somewhere people will come to help. You have no idea, you have never seen them before. They will show right there. It happens, right, Leela? So you organize any festival, any Sankirtan activity you do, you don't know who they are, where they are from. You may not even see them again, but they will show up. So like Prabhupada comes, people came. 5,000 people. From where they came? Mother Kamagiri, from where she come, we don't know. Satyaloka, Brahmaloka, Janarloka, Mata, we have no idea where she came. It's amazing. How did she show up, you know, to help Prabhupada? And she was cooking for Prabhupada all her life, you know, so like that. So Bhakti, Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Shaktikam, devotees come. Whenever there is some powerful spiritual energy, hundreds and thousands. One of the ways you can see, you know, some place something is going on, you will see many people, different cultures, different mentality, they'll all come together. And Sankirtan means to dance together in diversity, recognizing diversity, appreciating diversity, not being fearful, you know, usne ye kya kar diya, usne ye kya kar diya, but to appreciate and to celebrate the diversity in different kinds of people. and to have Sankirtan. So this is a very important verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is important to our topic in discussion today. And then the second verse is Yatha yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam suchamiyam. 500 years ago, when Srila Advaita Acharya made his appearance, the society was corrupt and degraded. Until Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, the understanding of people, all of the Brahmanas was that Krishna or Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are Devatas who are cosmic administrators to assist him. It was this simple. It is, in one line, it is very simple. There is one Supreme Godhead. Everybody is his part and parcel. There is assistants, there is cosmic managers to assist everything. But simple. But in Kali Yuga, this understanding got degraded because of the fall down of the Brahmanas. And Brahmanas became materialistic and money-minded. When you have too many material desires are prominent. They cover over bhakti, they cover Bhagwan also. Bhagwan just become a sideshow. So 500 years ago, when Advaita Acharya appeared, he saw that there was no devotion. In the name of demigod worship, people were committing animal slaughter. In the name of worshipping Durga, they said the mother of the universe. If she's mother of the universe, then all the goats and chickens are also her children. Now you ask me, let me ask you a question. Would you please a mother by slaughtering a child in front of her?
No.
Mother of the universe. Hare Krishna. So Bhakti Siddhanta said, we are Shuddha Shaktas. We are Shaktas, Shuddha Shaktas. We are worshipping the mother properly by honoring all jivas, by honoring all living entities. So Advaita Acharya saw that. He saw that in the name of religion, only ritual, empty, mundane ritual, fruitive activity. People would spend all of their wealth on the weddings of their sons and daughters. Sometimes they didn't have sons or daughters, they would spend money on the wedding of their dolls. They would have a puppet show, doll show. In the name of religion, there was a lot of dikhava, dhakosla, this, fruitive action, mundane, and there was no devotion to Krishna. There was no devotion. What to talk about? Pure devotion. So in this setting, Srila Advaita Acharya made his appearance. How many years older he was? Prabhu, how many years older he was to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
50.
52 years, yes. So 1434, Srila Advaita Acharya made his appearance. At the beginning of Kali Yuga, now this is very interesting, at the beginning of Kali Yuga, Sadashiva, Shiva has three forms. Sadashiva, Shambhu and Rudra. How many forms? Yes, this is the most important tattva. Three forms. Sadashiva. Sadashiva is Vishnu. He lives in Vaikuntha. In Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Rupa Goswami explains, he is Vishnu. He lives in Vaikuntha Loka and he's doing his Sankirtan. And he's engaging all the people in Sankirtan and he's the enjoyer of their bhakti. He's Sadashiva. But he's Vishnu. He's not influenced by Tamoguna. Now the second aspect, and he's beyond this material universe. Like Krishna is there in Goloka Vrindavan, Sadashiva is also beyond, it's beyond Vaikuntha. Now this verse from Brahma Samhita, Shiram yatha tadi vikara vishesha yoga. Until Sadashiva there is no vikar. But now there is a vikar. Shiram yatha tadi vikara vishesha yoga, sanjayate nahi patagasti heto ya shambhutama putata samipaiti karya. Govindamadi purusham tamam bayami, that Sadashiva becomes Shambhu. Yah shambhutam api tatha samupaiti karya. So beyond this material world, but below the Vaikuntha Loka, there is another realm called Kailash, where Lord Shiva lives as Shambhu. That Shambhu is described in Brahma Samhita, not the Sadashiva. So this is explained by Rupa Goswami in Raghu Bhagavatamrita. Shambhu, because now there is a vikar. In Sadashiva there is no vikar, there is no tamoga. And he lives beyond this material universe in Kailash. In this material world there is also Kailash. So this material world is actually a little minute trailer of the spiritual world. There is Dwarka, there is Mathura, there is Vrindavan, there is Ayodhya, there is Kashi. All of these things are actually spiritual planets in Vaikuntha Loka. You follow? And actually it's very interesting that what is there in macrocosm is also there in microcosm. Inside the body of a jiva, also based on chakras or astral calculation, these things are there. Okay. So Abhi Shambhu comes, who's second. We have Sadashiva, we have Shambhu, who's beyond this material universe. He lives in his own planet called Kailash. It's between the spiritual world and the material world. That's why we sometimes see Lord Shiva in the material world, sometimes we see him beyond the material world, sometimes he's also in Vaikuntha. And now that Shambhu expands as Rudra. And that Rudra appears from the forehead of Brahma. He can appear in any way, but sometimes he appears as the forehead of Brahma, and he takes 11 expansions in this universe. In other universes, there are more expansions of Rudra. Just like other universes have Brahma of millions of head, other universes have Rudra also more than 11. So these 11 Rudras are expansions of Shambhu, who's an expansion of Sadashiva. Ultimately, Sadashiva is an expansion of Narayan. And that Narayan is an expansion of the Chaturvyuha, Balaram, Krishna, right there. So now we understood 11 Rudras, and those 11 Rudras there are different names like Pinaki, Isha, there are different names, and those Rudras cause destruction in this material world. Or sometimes there's a Rudra dancing in Gaza, sometimes he's dancing somewhere else, like that. So those Rudras are creating destruction, and every living entity is ultimately destroyed. He's swallowed up by Rudra. So Rudra, Shambhu, Sadashiva. That Sadashiva, he goes to Causal Ocean and he lies on the bank of Causal Ocean and he starts praying to Mahavishnu for 700 years at the beginning of this Kali Yuga. Almost 500 years. He prayed. 500 years. He prayed, he says, Mahavishnu came. He said, Sadashiva, me and you are one. What is it that you are praying so intensely about? You look besides yourself, you're crying. It's been hundreds of years. And Sadashiva said, in this particular Kali Yuga which is starting, I cannot bear this to see the suffering of jivas. It's not a place for gentlemen. Small life, 60, 70 years, if that. People are harassed by everything. There is war. For mild-scaled trifles, war breaks out. There is disease, there is old age, there is death. And this is, people live a very short span of life. I'm aggrieved to see the suffering of people. Mahavishnu embraced Sadashiva. And from their embrace, one personality came out. And this personality was loudly chanting the name of Krishna. And he was dancing. As he was dancing, his golden body was erupted in this Kadamba trees, Kadamba goosebumps. And tears were coming out of his eyes as Ganges were to flow. And he was dancing, he was loudly calling Krishna, Krishna. And that personality, who's a combination of Sadashiva and Mahavishnu, is Srila Advaita. And he was roaring, so he was called the Nad. He's called the Nad. Nad means a cry which would pierce the coverings of this universe. And in his deep state of crying, in his deep state of suffering he was feeling for the suffering of the jivas, he came as Advaita Acharya. Sadashiva and Mahavishnu. So another idea is that sometimes people say you don't worship, Shiva. We do worship Shiva every day, all the time. After each mantra, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Advaita, Srivasadi, So Advaita Acharya is such an important person. Sadashiva, the source of Shambhu, the source of Shiva, the source of all the Rudras. That's Sadashiva and Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu who is the source of all of the Vishnus. They have come together in this Kali Yuga, this 430,000 years, and of course beyond, to relieve the suffering of jivas. And he said that I will loudly chant Krishna, and in this Kali Yuga I will make everybody chant Krishna. And if people just chant, you don't have to do any other meditation. You don't have to do any other tapasya. You don't have to do austerity. You don't have to do yoga. You don't even have to have jnana. If simply on this faith, one chants the word Krishna, his suffering will be minimized or eliminated, and he will get the highest benediction. So Mahavishnu and Sadashiva embraced, and that personality, as Srila Advaita Acharya, took birth from the womb of Labha Devi and Kubera. And this Kubera is the treasurer of Lord Shiva. And he wanted Lord Shiva as his son. So one time Kubera was doing intense austerity to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said, what do you want? He said, I want you as my son. So Kubera and Lava Devi, from the celestial Kubera, the treasurer of the demigods, that Kubera, who's an eternal associate of Lord Shiva, he first came. And he came and he took birth here. It is described that they had 6 sons, Kubera and Lava Devi, before Advaita Acharya appeared. 6 sons and 1 daughter. 4 of his sons took sannyas. They were about 12 years old when they left home, and they died on pilgrimage. They never returned home. Sannyas does not mean luxuriously eating and sleeping. Sannyas means tapasya, finished. Everything is finished now. Sannyas means tapasya, austerity. You don't come back home. Done. You have given up everything, and now only thing left is to preach Krishna consciousness, to preach God consciousness. So that's what Shankaracharya did, what Madhvacharya did. So Advaita Acharya had 4 elder brothers, they all took sannyas. And then finally the 7th child was Advaita Acharya. It is described in the scriptures how beautifully Devi became pregnant. All the devatas would come to see her effulgence and the beauty of that lady, and to see that personality who's coming in this world as Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. Advaita Acharya took birth on his birth 1434, 52 years before Mahaprabhu took birth, and he lived for 127 years. And he was the main prime fulcrum, or you can say the prime main pivot for Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. Before, he attracted a lot of people. He also gave birth to many sons who became exemplary preachers. That Advaita Parivar, that lineage of Advaita through his sons, is still continuing, and to greater or bigger degree they are doing their preaching work. So he was named Kamalaksha. He was named Kamalaksha. He was also called Advaita. This word has to be understood. We say Advaita philosophy. Advaita philosophy simply means that God, there is nobody equal to God. That's why he's called Advaita. Advitiya. He has Advitiya. He has no second. He's in his own category. He's in his own category. So Advaita means God, one God, supreme God, who has no second. Nobody is equal to him. Nobody is barabar to him. Huh? So everybody is dependent on him. So he was called Kamalaksha and Advitiya. He grew up, a very interesting pastime happened in his childhood Leela. His father was the priest for the king, and there was a big festival in the temple of Kali. Kamalaksha was 5 years old. And in the temple of Kali, after the puja was done, everybody paid obeisances, even the king paid obeisances. But Kamalaksha was standing there. So his father said, Kamalaksha, what do I do? You also have to pay obeisances. So Kamalaksha just stood there stood there witnessing the episode. And the king said, Kamalaksha, please pay your obeisances. Kamalaksha said, I cannot pay my obeisances. She's my energy. Durga, Kali, Parvati, they are married to Lord Shiva. He is Sadashiva. He is Mahavishnu. He said, she's my energy. I'm her husband. The king thought this was blasphemy. 5-year-old boy, Daivigram, he can do something like that. And we don't know who Daivigram is, by the way. So we don't know. So whatever he'll say, I'll believe. So he says, I'm her husband, and I cannot pay obeisances. She would not accept it. And now, there's Bawal, GBC has to be called out. So they made Kamalaksha forcefully pay obeisances. He paid forceful obeisances. And the deity of Kali, she shattered, huge mountains, shattered into pieces, and out came Kali, Durga, with her 8 hands. And she pays her respectful obeisances to Kamalaksha. And then she does a circumambulation of Kamalaksha. After paying respectful obeisances, she goes away in front of everybody. So people are like, oh my God. So that's one part time. He was 12 years old. So this happened. He was born in the town Bangladesh, Shri Hatta. At the age of 12, he moved to Shantipur, first to study, because Shantipur is close to Navdeep, big seat of education. It is described that he completed his education. He was a Shrutidhar, one who can learn everything by listening one time. So just by listening, this is how music is learned, this is how grammar is learned, vyakaran, everything is learned just by hearing. So he mastered the different subjects of philosophy. After completing his education, he came back to Srihata and he was serving his parents. And he showed a very beautiful example of service to one's parents. And after about a year, a chariot comes from Vaikuntha to take his parents. And his mother and father, Kuber Devi, and they have done their duty. They have brought Advaita Acharya here, and they ascended in front of everybody's eyes to Vaikuntha, to from where they came, in his service to Lord Shiva. So he came back, served his parents, showed a very beautiful example. Parents ascended to Vaikuntha, and then at the age of 14, he went, after completing his education, after doing his duties towards his parents, Kamalaksha went on a pilgrimage. And it is described that he went to South India. There in Udupi, he first meets Shripat Madhavendra. And that meeting is described, and his effulgence and his devotion and his attraction to the holy name was so attractive that in Udupi Math, Madhavendra Puri personally taught him Srimad Bhagavatam, the commentary of Madhvacharya, and also gave him Diksha. So in our Chaitanya family, the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many of them are disciples of Madhavendra Puri. And one interesting thing is that in Madhava Sampradaya also, the bhakti was there mostly for Vishnu until Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri, who was this stalwart Acharya, he's the one who actually gave Vraj Bhakti, Vrindavan Bhakti, the Raganuga Bhakti of gopis. So this was given to this world, even and then shortly thereafter, the two sampradayas bifurcated. So Madhavas, they still have more focus on Vishnu, and Gaudiyas have more focus on Krishna in Vrindavan. But it was Madhavendra Puri who was the sort of the link between the two sampradayas. So he went to all the places in South India, he went to North India, he met Vidyapati, he went to different places. It's beautiful. He met different saints. And after finishing his pilgrimage, he returns to Vrindavan. And there, Kamalaksha's, the love which was in his heart, it broke all dams. And one day as he was sleeping near the bank of Yamuna, Krishna comes to him. And he said that a very beautiful deity of Madan Gopal is hiding here. Krishna said, I'm hiding here because the Yavanas have completely destroyed the Vedic culture. So in fear of them, I'm hiding here. Please take, it was called Dwadas Aditya, 12 sons Tila. Where Radha Madan Mohan temple is built, it is built on a hill. If you go to Vrindavan, that Tila was called Dwadas Aditya. Now why did 12 sons have to come? After Krishna killed Kaliya, he was a little wet and he needed a towel. So he said, please come. So 12 sons came. And it's not that they were too hot or they were burning him. The sun can decide, sun is a person, he can decide how much heat I have to give. So he perfectly arranged, 12 sons came, and that Tila where Krishna dried himself after killing Kaliya is called Dwadash. Dwadash means 12. Aditya means sun. Tila means hill. So Dwadash Aditya Tila. So he said, I'm hiding there. So Srila Advaita Acharya, he took the Brajvasis and they cleared the bushes, and sure enough, they found this beautiful deity of Madan Gopal. And Madan Mohan was named, the same deity was named Madan Mohan little bit after. We'll get to the story. So the deity said, but you worship me, but I'll send my pure devotee, Mr. Chaube. Mr. Chaube will come. In their house, their son is called Madan Mohan. Okay? They're pure devotees. I want to be with them. Bhagavan wants to be with his pure devotees. He said, after you have found, you give it to Mr. Chaube. Sure enough, Mr. Chaube gets a dream. You go there, you will meet Advaita Acharya. It happens, things happen. Bhagavan, things happen. Very, lot of coincidences happen in life, If you have to make things happen too much you have to make things happen, then you can take a step back and see, does Bhagavan really want it or not? Things which Bhagavan want to do, they happen. You have a desire, you have an intention, you have a prayer, you have a prarthana, things will happen. If you have to force something too much, sometimes you have to be very determined. Determination is required. Sometimes you have to determine. But in your path of determination, you will see things will happen, which you will know that this is Krishna's mercy, this is Krishna's grace, little by little. So anyway, Chaubeji came, he took him to Mathura, and there the deity and the son, they both were playing together in the house. And the deity told, later when Rupa and Sanatana Goswami came, I'll come back to Vrindavan. But for now, I want to enjoy the association of Purushottam Chaube and his wife and their son Madan Mohan, and I want to be their family member. I want to be their sadasya, their family member. Krishna is a family member. Deity is a family member. So like that, that's the bhav of Vaishnavism. Shuddha Vaishnavism is, it's my family, you know. Okay. So he discovered the deity of Madan Gopal. He went to Govardhan Hill. He also meditated at the same place where Madhavendra Puri had his Baitak, where Madhavendra Puri had his Leela. Of course, he's the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And then afterwards, he came back to Shantipur. Now, he had two homes, Advaita Prabhu. By this time, he had two homes. One was in Navadvip, what we call as Mayapur, and one is in Shantipur. Just like we have Braj Mandal, there is Gauda Mandal. Same thing. And just like we have Vrindavan in Braj Mandal, in Gauda Mandal you have Mayapur. You have Navadvip Mayapur. Yes? Kalindi can correct me, okay? Fact check. So like that. So he came back, he had two homes, one in Shantipur, where he had his university, he had his school, and now the time was ripe. At this point, many saintly people, they're all associates and incarnations of the Lord, they have taken birth, and now the time is ripe for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. One more thing, our Acharya has explained, who's Advaita Prabhu in Vrindavan? Can anybody tell me who's Advaita Prabhu? What is his identity? So three different personalities. Some scriptures say he's Vishakha Devi. They also say he's Vishakha Devi in the Madhurya Ras. He's Paunamashi. Paunamashi from Vatsalya Ras came as Advaita Prabhu. And Madhumanga from Sakhya Ras came as Advaita Prabhu. So, and you will see that in Advaita's pastimes, these three rasas, Vatsalya Bhav, because he was older, Sakhya Bhav, and Madhurya Bhav of assisting him in his Leela. All of these three things are there. So he's Vishakha, he's Paunamashi, he's Madhumanga. One source says he's also Rati Manjari, but that's not confirmed. Okay. Now at this time, before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, another personality appeared in Navadvip, and his name was Srila Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, after delivering Maya Devi, after delivering Chintamani, after delivering, he made his from Phulya, he made his way to Navadvip to Shantipur. And he came to Shantipur on the bank of Ganga. He had a little, very small hut he made. And Advaita Acharya, when he met Haridas Thakur, he recognized his glory and his power, for he was. Every day, Srila Advaita Acharya would cook for Haridas Thakur and take prasadam for him. He would take care of all of his material needs, because Haridas Thakur would chant 300,000 names. After finishing his japa, he would go on the street chanting Krishna, Krishna, and he would tell Bolo Krishna, Kaho Krishna. He would just preach. And Advaita Acharya said, you are the real Namach. You know, before even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu certified it, he could see that this person, he chants 300,000 names daily and then he goes and preaches. So Advaita Acharya actually offered service to Haridas Thakur. Born in a Yavana family, nothing, you know, but just because he was chanting Hare Krishna. And this is actually the sum and substance of the Hare Krishna movement. We don't have people here who are born in Brahmanical families. And sometimes there may be some aberrations also. And we don't have people who are doing yoga and this, you know, breath work and this work and that work, you know. But we have people who are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And because they are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they are also able to convince others to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just last year in 2024, 5 million Bhagavad Gitas got distributed. 5 million. 100,000 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, this level of book distribution, Hinduism, you can say, I don't know, 1 billion years has not seen. 100,000 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nobody knew in this room, anybody knew who Srimad Bhagavatam was. These are 18 big books, 100,000 books. 100,000 sets. I don't know, 35,000 sets of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Charitamrita is a very, very deep scripture. Srila Prabhupada wanted it distributed on the streets. Just like Haridas Thakur did. Just like Advaita Acharya did. No bars. In Kali Yuga, time is short, life is short. Chant Hare Krishna and give Krishna to others. But there are two religious principles. There is no other religious principle. Now for health, okay, you have to do some yoga. It's all right. It's fine. But there's two religious principles. Chant Hare Krishna and give Hare Krishna. And that actually takes care of everything. Yatha taror moola nishechanena tripyanti yat skanda bhujo pishakha pranopaharam cha yathendriyanam tathami sarvaranam achyutecha. One who serves a chuta, one who waters the root of the tree by chanting Hare Krishna, he has done every single activity. All the tapasya is done, all the pilgrimage is done, all jnana is done, all yoga is done, all karma is done. All the sakam, nishkam, karma, yoga, jnana, yoga, bada do usko halwa. And offer it to Krishna.
भक्ति में आ जाएगा
वो सारा ladder फेडर हटाओ, elevator दबाओ. Ladder हटाओ, elevator दबाओ.
Ladder rhyming.
See, this is the beauty of poetry. Ladder हटाओ, elevator दबाओ.
Instagram post.
So, Shri Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur struck a deep friendship of love and seva and preaching. He also initiated at that time, Advaita Acharya initiated Yadunandana Acharya, another great devotee who became the spiritual master of Raghunath Das Goswami. So a nice consortium of devotees was coming from here, there, a nice sangha was developing. Another incident happened that the day of Shraddha came. Shraddha, Lord Chaitanya went to Gaya to do Shraddha. People do it for their parents. The best way to do Shraddha, if you want to do anything for your family, is to do kirtan, have prasad, very good first class prasad, and distribute it to everybody. That's the sum and substance. You have a wedding, you have an engagement, you have a birthday party, you have Shraddha party, all party. Every party, we have one simple rule. Do a lot of kirtan and a lot of prasadam and distribute it as to as many as. And if you can give them some books, then Hare Krishna. So, Shraddha Patra, the entire town of Shantipur, now rigid Brahminical culture, Shantipur, scholars, jnanis, yogis, they're all sitting, and Advaita Acharya offered the prasadam to Vishnu. After offering the prasadam to Vishnu, he goes and takes the Mahaprasadam plate and puts it in front of Haridas Thakur, who's sitting somewhere chanting in his bhajan. Haridas Thakur protested, what are you doing? You will lose your caste. People will criticize you. And of course, that's what happened. The Brahmanas were up in arms. This is blasphemy. You have invited us to insult us. Where is this VVIP? We are the VVIP. All the VVIP are sitting. And the Mahaprasadam gone to Haridas Thakur. Advaita Acharya said that, Haridas Thakur, when I feed you, I feel that I have fed 100,000 Brahmanas. The idea of Brahmana Bhoj is that Vishnu eats through the fire, Agni, and in a more palatable way, in a more relatable way, Vishnu eats through the mouth of his devotee. This is the idea. Now every Brahmana, feed us. If you distribute 10,000 Bhagavad Gitas, I'll feed you. Mahaprabhu said, you chant 64 rounds, I will come to your house. Simple. I will come to your house to honor your invitation if you chant 64. Lakpati you have to become. Vaisheshika Prabhu, he gets invited. He has a policy, and I'm telling you, he doesn't go to anybody's house. He first asks this question. Some new people came, Prabhu, please come to our house. He said, for sure. Do you have an entire set of Srila Prabhupada books? That includes Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all of the other books. He said, if you have that, then I will come or I will bring myself. Then he goes and he eats very little and then he goes. Then he said, I cannot eat this. So he was telling me, go. So, like that we have to do. We have to be very smart. So, Advaita Acharya told Haridas Thakur, feeding you is feeding 100,000 Brahmanas. And of course, they're up in arms, they're uproarious, they leave. They said, from today, you have no caste, You don't belong in our culture, you don't belong in our society, we are ostracizing you and we're going back to our home. And they went home and none of them could light fire. None of them could light fire. At that time there was no matches, you have to rub the wood to light fire. So nobody could light fire. Nobody could do any yajna, nobody could do any havan, nobody can cook anything. 2 or 3 days, 4 days, 5 days went by. Then they realized, then this leader of the Brahmanas, he prayed to Durga. Durga, give me direction. And Durga said, you have offended my husband. You go and apologize to him. They all come to apologize to Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya said, you have to apologize to Haridas Thakur. Bummer. If you have offended a Vaishnava, you can't go to somebody else. You have to they went to Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur, just to save, he knew that he was going to leave the place. He didn't want any attraction for himself, but just to prove the point, he showed his form of Brahma. And he belched fire from his mouth. And he lighted fire. So look at this. Who is Haridas Thakur? Brahma, who has committed this aparadh of stealing Krishna's cows. Brahma wants to do some repentance, some paschatap. What is the best repentance? What paschatap? Let me do some service to Krishna. So he came as Haridas Thakur, lived a very austere life, very humble life. Very humble life. Bharat Maharaj knew that once I got as deer, I'll be gone. So he took birth as Jada Bharat. Jada Bharat. Jada Yoga. Bhagavatam described Jada Yoga. Jada Yoga means you have to keep a low profile. If you have a very high profile, everybody will eat you up. As soon as you have a little high profile, Radha Maharaj told me, you can do a lot of bhakti if you don't take credit for it. To keep a low profile. So you keep a high profile, you become very big, you are like, no, this is how it is going to be done. Abhi dekho, abhi material energy ka bada acha reaction aata hai usme. So Haridas Thakur, Jada Bharat, he says, no, I want to live humbly this time. I made a mistake already. Because of my ego, what happens? Mind goes somewhere else. So now I have committed offense. So let me live a little humbly. So he took birth as Haridas Thakur. It is also said, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is not happy just offering some prayers. Prahlad Maharaj wants to be the Namacharya. So Haridas Thakur is combined incarnation of Brahma and Prahlad Maharaj. Why they came? To give Krishna. 300,000 names every day, and Krishna, to give Krishna to everyone. Krishna Upadesh. This is the desire of Prahlad Maharaj. This is the desire of Brahma, our creator of the universe. If there is one purpose of creation, then we can understand from Brahma. Our founder Acharya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, he comes as Haridas. Okay. Afterwards, Advaita Acharya Prabhu accepted 2 wives. He wanted to show people a beauty of Grihastha Ashram. And he wanted to worship the deity. The deity he left behind Madan Gopal there, that's a long story. He brought a picture, had somebody paint and brought the picture. Another revelation came that Radharani has to be there. So he painted a picture. Eventually, he made a deity of Madan Mohan. Same replica deity and installed in his own home in Shantipur. And he started worshipping the deity with his 2 wives, Shri Devi and Sita Devi, Sita Thakurani, and his sister. The father said, I have nothing to give you in dowry, so you can take my younger daughter. Sita Devi and Shri Devi. I'm not a bad proposal. Anyway. Okay, all right. So he had 5 sons from Sita Devi. Very illustrious son. One was Achyutananda. Another one was Krishna Mishra. Krishna. 3rd was Gopal Das. 4th was Balaram. 5th was Jagdish. 6th was Swarupa. Our devotees, please name your children like this. Please try Krishna's name. Beautiful names. So like, what is your name? Ritvik. I'm like, what is Ritvik? Kartik Prabhu, please don't.
You start here though.
Anyway, they'll get initiated. Okay. So then now we hear about Gaura Avatar. And Advaita Acharya, he had a very simple Brahman, simple, poor, lived in poverty. What can he do? Ganges water is there, Tulsi leaves are there, he had Shalagram Shila, and he would just pray every day. Every day, just Krishna, you come and you deliver people, you relieve their suffering. Give in Kali Yuga people Harinam Sankirtan, give Krishna's holy name. Let people in every country, in every town, imagine he's sitting in Bengal. That time there is no aeroplane, how do people go? Only invaders, big horse army you need. From India, we hear about anybody who comes from Greece, Bapre, Greece, he came here, like that. And so he's praying that every town and village, every suburb of Ohio, we're building this temple, but every suburb of Ohio, every suburb should have Bhakti Vriksha. Devotees should buy homes, different places, blah, blah, blah. And they should do kirtan like Kalindi, Reynoldsburg, Pickerington's delivered. Khatam. One person in Pickerington has not heard the word Krishna. Door to door. Bro, have you left any home in Pickerington? Any home left? Not in the neighborhood. And they show up, they say, well, what are you here to give? I will to give these books. Okay, for sure we'll take it. Who can refuse? So like that. So grocery stores, and Indian stores, and door to door, and Harinam, and festival preaching like that. So every town like that should have. Okay. So he's invoking Gaura avatar. And Shachi Devi becomes pregnant and she goes to Ganga to take a bath. And Advaita Acharya is offering his flowers in Shantipur. And he sees some of the flowers going upstream. They're swimming upstream. He runs behind. Flowers should go downstream. They go all the way to Shachi Devi. They circumambulate the flowers. Advaita Acharya pays his obeisances to Shachi Devi. What miracle is this? Shachi Devi has a miscarriage. Shachi Devi says, Advaita Acharya came, he did this obeisances to me, I had a miscarriage. This happened 7 times. Jagannath Mishra went to Advaita Acharya and said, what wrong we have done? You have not done anything wrong, I'm just accelerating everything. He said, no, please don't worry, I did not do anything. I did not do anything. There is something special about your wife, I cannot tell you. So then finally, the 8th time she becomes pregnant, Advaita Acharya did the same thing. This time Jagannath Mishra came and said, what are you doing? He said, no, please don't worry. This is a special blessing. Something beautiful will happen. After 12 months of pregnancy, Nimai, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Gaura Chandra Mahaprabhu, Shachi Nandan Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna together came in the womb of Shachi Devi and took birth under a neem tree, and Advaita Acharya called him lovingly the first time Nima. He was the one who named him. His wife brought beautiful gifts. He did beautiful prayers. All of the devatas came from the whole world. Krishna has taken birth as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the land of Bengal. Blessed land, Gaura land, good, sugar, jaggery, sugary land. We got this nice sugary prasad to make you gain 50 pounds. So that's that. Krishna is also loving sweet. So he invokes Gaura avatar. Now, Gaura avatar is born. Another brother, Vishwambar, is born before Gaura avatar. I missed that. Vishwambar and this boy, Vishwambar is going to Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya's school. He's teaching them, but he's teaching them grammar, he's teaching them, but he's also injecting Krishna consciousness. The whole thing is going on. So devotees are like that, So Vishwambar, at the age of 12, he said, after learning from Advaita Acharya, Vishwambar takes sannyas. He took the name Shankaranya and he never came back. He also passed. Vishwarup took Shankaranya and he never came back. He also passed away on pilgrimage. Shachi Mata and this Krishna consciousness movement is not very good for your health of your family. We are just doing your warning. So, the real Krishna consciousness. So then after that, when Vishwarup is studying, Sachi Mata would always send Nimai to bring him. And Nimai, 2-3-year-old boy, naked, he would show up at the doorstep of Advaita Acharya. And there are other senior devotees there too. And Vishwarup is there. And Advaita Acharya is not attracted to anything material. He's not attracted to a material form. The reason we worship the deity, we will not be attracted to material form of opposite sex. We worship the deity like that. Put your screensaver, everything deity, Krishna, Radha, Nadabar, his form. Meditate, service to the form, direct seva to the form. Like that. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, multiple. Anyanas chintan tamam yajana paripasate desham nitya bhiktanam yogakshema vaham. Nitya yukta upasate. like that. Maya Avesha, form. Bhagwan is a form. When Bhagwan doesn't have a form, it is recognized that those religions, Bhagwan don't have a form, generally the followers become very materialistic. Very materialistic. There are some which are Brahmanical, very intelligent people. Some, but in general, no. But in religion, which Bhagwan is there with the form, deity is there, people make very quick spiritual advancement. If they serve the deity, if they understand how to do the deity worship properly. Prabhupada enacted some standards, some pancharatrika vidhi, proper vidhi to serve the deity. Why? So that people can make spiritual advancement happen. You become attracted to the deity, you follow the worship of the deity according to proper pancharatrika vidhi, you will not be attracted to material forms. The attraction of material form is the problem. So vaya positive. So Advaita Acharya cannot believe, he's always thinking of Nimai. Always 24 hours he's thinking of Nimai. He said, what is this? Who is attracting my heart and my mind like this? He's a pure devotee, Mahabhagavat. He's Mahavishnu, he's Sadashiva. Who can attract Mahavishnu and Sadashiva? Only Bhagavan can attract. So there is this beautiful Leela of Bhagavan where Bhagavan sometimes reveals himself. Sometimes Advaita Acharya said, Nimai, why have you come? He says, Nath, why did you call me? He says, I called you? Then maybe are you the answer to my prayers? I don't know. So there is this Yoga Maya. Krishna covers for the sake of his Leela, for the sake of his pastime, to lovingly reciprocate with his devotees. Sometimes he covers them, sometimes he uncovers them. So a devotee becomes more and more eager. Sometimes Krishna shows himself, sometimes he's kind of a little absent, so devotee becomes more and more eager. Devotees think, oh, maybe I have done some aparadh, that's why I'm not feeling like this. My chanting is not very good. Like that. But Shachi Devi used to think in her mind, after Vishwarup, right, he took sannyas, she used to think, this Nimai, I have only one son left. Her husband also passed away, Jagannath Mishra. Older brother left, younger brother is the only one left. What to do? So she would feel, maybe he should not go to Advaita Acharya Prabhu's home. Maybe Advaita, he's not teaching just grammar and logic and Vedanta as he's saying, he's teaching something else. So she's having some doubts of her own. So anyway, finally Advaita Acharya, as Mahaprabhu, after Mahaprabhu went to Gaya and he comes back, now Mahaprabhu is showing his bhav as a bhakta. And one time, Mahaprabhu comes to Advaita Acharya Prabhu's home and he's worshipping the deity so nicely and he's doing Sankirtan that Mahaprabhu sees the scene and he faints. So Advaita Acharya very quickly grabs the dust from his lotus feet and he put his feet on his head because he wanted to, all this time, Gaura, Nimai, was taking blessings from Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya had this bhav of Sakya bhav. And he wanted to take blessings from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Advaita Acharya Prabhu had a big argument, who's superior? And he says, you are the pure devotee. He says, but I know you are Narayan. And like that, they would always be eager to take dust from the lotus feet of the other person. So Advaita Acharya decided, okay, Nimai may be Bhagwan, he's acting like a bhakta. Let me go back to Shantipur. I'll move. If he wants, he will rapture me, he will capture me, and he'll bring me back. Let's see. So after that happened, he moved back to Shantipur. And sometimes when he would feel acute separation from Nimai, in his class, in his school, he was a teacher, Bliss Institute, he would start preaching Jnana. Jnana is superior. There is no difference between Bhagavan, his bhakta, his energies, his incarnations, his pastimes, everything is one. And he would take this book, Yoga Vasishtha, which was like the creme de la creme on Jnana Yoga, of impersonalism. Impersonalism. There is no Bhagavan. And he would start preaching. As soon as Nimai, Super Soul, Paramatma, he would come, he would climb in front of his students on the dais. He would pull Advaita Acharya down by his legs. Now he was an older man. And he would start beating him. He would kick him. And Nimai enjoyed, and Advaita Acharya enjoyed it so much. Krishna also says, I'm not impressed by the hymns of the Vedas as much as Mother Yashoda. I find happiness in Mother Yashoda scolding me or my friends scolding me. So similarly, Advaita Acharya is like, I don't want respect. I don't imagine if somebody comes and takes dust from your lotus feet. It's very embarrassing. He says, no, no. So then he would preach jnana. And one time, Mahaprabhu is in the house of Srivas, and he's displaying his bhava. So he tells Srivas's brother, Ramai, Rama. His name is Sri Rama. Srivas' brother, Sri Rama, Ramai. He says, Ramai, go and bring Advaita Acharya and go and bring his wife and tell them that, for the incarnation they have prayed so fervently, so incessantly, the deliverance of humanity is near. Come and tell them to bring all the paraphernalia and all the bhoga from their home and come and worship me. So Ramai goes and tells Advaita Acharya that Nimai, he's showing the form as Bhagwan. He has sat on the throne, on the altar. A guest comes, sits on the altar. Says he has sat on the altar of Narayan and he's saying he's Narayan. And he wants you and your wife to come and worship. Advaita Acharya, excited, besides himself. As soon as they get to Mayapur, they get to Navadvip, he thinks, no, this cannot be true. Let me check. So he goes and hides in the house of Nandana Acharya. And tell Ramai, tell Mahaprabhu, tell Ramai that I have not come. We have not come. So, okay, Ramai goes and he enters. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, tell Advaita Acharya and Sita Thakurani that they are hiding in the house of Nandana Acharya and I am coming with Nityananda Prabhu. Tell them I'm coming. So they go, him and Nityananda Prabhu, they go and they drag Advaita Acharya to the house of Shiva. So Shiva's now, praise me, worship me, offer your heart to me, offer your love to me. And the whole Sodashakam Chana, that whole beautiful scene is there. And he fulfills all his longings. In fact, Advaita Acharya used to write a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And every verse, Mother Kamgiri, every verse was only devotional. Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Bhagavad Gita is there. But every verse was pure devotional service to Krishna. And whenever he would meditate on the commentary, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come in his dreams and he would tell him what to write. Sometimes they say, Srila Prabhupada's books, that people who are not familiar with the ultimate conclusion, it is like there is a road and there is an ultimate conclusion, okay? Srila Prabhupada, following the Acharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Advaita Acharya, Madhavendra Puri, they have all done the same thing. From 700 verses of Gita, from verse 1 to verse 700, it's only Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service. Or some people say, no, this is your bias towards Bhakti. Oh, we are biased towards Bhakti because Bhakti is the goal. We are biased towards Bhakti, yes, because Krishna says, Bhaktya mam avijanati yamani chachuni tattvataha. If you want to know me in truth, then you have to become a Bhakta. Mad Bhakta, Mad Bhakta, Mad Bhakta. The whole Bhagavad Gita is Mad Bhakta. And they say, no, you are biased towards Bhakti. Man mana bhava, Mad Bhakto, Mad Yaji, Mam Namaskaru, Mame Vaishyasya Tattande, Pati Janahi Priyosam. This is the only verse which comes twice. Again, Krishna says, Man mana bhavo, Mad Bhakto, Mad Yaji, Mam Namaskaru. Like that, and the second line is a little different. So, but he says, Mad Bhakta. Well, you are biased towards Bhakti. We are biased towards Bhakti because Bhakti is the ultimate goal. Sarva dharma parityagya mam ekam sharanam brada. Is there anywhere which says, Krishna says, Mam dvitiyam sharanam brada? And then Krishna says, one who preaches this knowledge to others is most dear to me. There was never one who was dear, nor there ever will be one who is more dear to me. Who gives this knowledge to others. Now, others may not take it, but our job is to give. Krishna gives his mercy in 3 installments. First installment, Krishna has given some intelligence, some power, some resources. We should try to give Krishna to others. That is the first installment. The second installment is whether they will take it or not. That's the second installment. And the third installment is they will take it and they will give it to others. That's the third installment. So if Krishna is giving me first installment, at least let me take the first installment. Don't worry about the second and third installment. It will also come. Time and tide has to wait. So when the right time comes, then something happens. But devotee has to try the first installment. So Prabhupada, how many installments? 3 installment of Krishna's mercy. First installment?
To give Krishna.
And to give Krishna. We have some resources and power to give Krishna. Second installment, they'll accept it. And third is they will accept it and they'll give it to others. But we have to wait for it. Okay. So, first installment. So in Gita reading, there is this chapter 13, text 14. It says, Sarvataha Panitam. Krishna is everywhere. His feet are everywhere. His hands are everywhere. So it can be interpreted in an impersonal way. So Mahaprabhu tells, remember when you were meditating on that verse? and you could not find a devotional explanation of that verse, then I came personally and I dictated you and you were happy. And nobody knew this except Advaita Acharya's heart. He had not shared this with anybody. So Bhagavad Gita, this beautiful, most beautiful purport, the essence of all the Vedas, is actually in the line of parampara. This is how it is meant to be. In that Leela, when Mahaprabhu was giving mercy to everybody, devotees said, let's give mercy to Mother Sachi. And Mahaprabhu said, no. Of course, it's an instructive pastime. I will not give mercy to Mother Sachi. And Advaita Acharya almost fainted. He said, why would you not give mercy to Mother Sachi? He said, no, because she committed offense against you. Offense against me? He had so much respect. She was the mother of his two favorite sons. She was the mother of Narayan. He knew who she was. And she's Yashoda, she's Devaki. And Advaita Acharya faints. When he faints, Mother Sachi comes. And because he's on the ground unconscious, Mother Sachi took dust from his lotus feet and put it on her head. And her offense was nullified. And Mahaprabhu was able to. So this is a very instructive pastime which Advaita Acharya, Mother Sachi happened. Ultimately, Lord Chaitanya, after doing some kirtan at the house of Srivas and after showing his bhav as a bhakta and as Bhagavan, he took sannyas and went to Kathua. Kathua took sannyas. And when the news, Advaita Acharya was in Shantipur, when the news came that Mahaprabhu has taken sannyas and went permanently to Vrindavan, all the devotees were heartbroken. They didn't even see, like your best friend leaves and you didn't even get a chance to see. Then the news comes, Nityananda Prabhu has tricked Mahaprabhu and he's on the other side of Ganga. Please, Advaita Acharya, please come. Chandrasekhar comes to bring Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya brings his boat. Prashadam is being ready at home. He comes and Mahaprabhu sees Advaita Acharya. He feels very happy. Oh, in Vrindavan there is also Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya said, Prabhu, wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. And oh my God, what this Nityananda Prabhu has tricked me. He was not in external consciousness. He had no awareness of where he was. After 2 days of excursion, he came back to Shantipur. And so they took them to the house of Advaita Acharya, where wonderful, wonderful pastimes happened. Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu had just taken sannyas, but he's feeding, our hospitality. So he's feeding them a mound of rice, like Ram Prakash Prabhu. Nobody can go hungry in 50 miles where Ram Prakash Prabhu lives. He packs me, I said, Prabhu, can you pack me some breakfast? There's 5 days of prasad. Hare Krishna. So that's coming, that hospitality is coming from Advaita Acharya, the Bengali culture, right? So they serving him. And Mahaprabhu is saying, no, I've taken sannyas, I cannot eat. And Nityananda Prabhu is saying, I'm a mendicant, I have not eaten for so many days. And this rice would not even fill half my belly. This is the problem with these fallen householders. They're all very miserable. And Advaita Acharya replies, you are an avadhuta, you have no caste, and you have come here to spoil my caste. If anybody sees you in my home, my caste will be spoiled. And Nityananda Prabhu says, he eats a little bit, he said, no, I'm not even full, and takes the rest of the rice and throw it on Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya said, oh, today I have received the remnants of Avadhuta. I'm so happy. And then he takes the rice back and throws it on Nityananda Prabhu. So like that, Mahaprabhu was always well behaved. Nityananda Prabhu was an Avadhuta. Different tempers and personalities exist in Krishna consciousness. And Advaita Acharya's pastimes with Nityananda Prabhu are legendary. Continuing onwards. Afterwards, when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Advaita Acharya would spend 4 months in Jagannath Puri, and he was, along with Shivananda Singh, was the leader of all the devotees and took them every year to Jagannath Puri. Now this idea of taking devotees to New Vrindavan, to pilgrimage, to retreats, to Vrindavan, to Mayapur, this is an extremely auspicious activity. And to take devotees to, or bring them to the temple, or take them to holy places, Krishna is very, 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 very kind and merciful to those who do that. So Advaita Acharya set an example. Shivananda Singh's exploits are very, very well understood in Chaitanya Chaitamrita. We'll be finishing in 5 minutes. So Nityananda, Chaitanya, Shivananda Singh and Advaita Acharya and all the devotees, a large party of devotees would go on foot. It would take them 1 month to get to Jagannath Puri. And they had to pay taxes and they had to pass through very unfavorable circumstances. It wasn't easy as taking a flight. So anyway, Please also, if you have not been to all of these places, Rohit, we have so many beautiful, beautiful tirthas in India. There is no reason to go, absolutely no reason to go to Switzerland. If you even start now and visit one temple every day, you can never finish anything. You know, so we have so many beautiful temples, South India, North India.
I visited the best place in my life. I don't know how many beautiful places I will visiting, but this will be always my first beautiful place. The Palace of Gold.
Haribo!
Palace of Gold.
You know.
Palace of Gold.
Yes.
I felt like I can feel the air and I can feel the devotion in the land. The weather, everything speaks with you, and I don't know, I'm not that poetic to explain the emotion.
We can feel it. We can feel your power. Anyway, ultimately, after when it was time for Mahaprabhu's pastimes, Mahaprabhu's Leela to get over, Advaita Acharya through Jagadananda Pandit sent a message to Mahaprabhu. Baul ko kahiye, loka hoila aul. Tell the madman that everybody has become mad. Baul ko kahiye, hate na bikaye chawal. In the market, nobody is buying rice, meaning everybody is fully satisfied. You are fully satisfied with rice. Rice meaning love of God. Baul ko kahiye, kaje nahi ko aur. Tell him that there is no more work for him. There is nothing to do. And Baul ko kahiye, iha koye ucha baul. This has been said by another man. And when the Mahaprabhu heard the riddle, Mahaprabhu smiled and said, Naad called me. Lord called me, and now he's asking me to go back. So after that, Mahaprabhu finished his pastimes in the world. He entered the deity of Toda Gopinath. By the way, resurrection is not a singular phenomenon. Nobody could find the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, nobody could find the body of Nityananda Prabhu, and nobody could find the body of Advaita Prabhu. They all passed away. Advaita Prabhu passed away in his home. His body was also not found. He also entered the deity. They say they entered the deity. And Mahaprabhu entered the deity of Toda Gopinath. Guru Nanak Dev Ji passed away. There were two groups of his followers. They both claimed that the body belongs to us. They decided at night they will cover the body. Half of the disciples would sleep on the left, half would sleep on the right. They will put fresh flowers on both sides. Whichever flowers last the longest, they don't wilt, they'll take the body. Okay, that's in the morning. Both the sides the flowers are fresh, but Guru Nanak Dev Ji is not there. Resurrection. Haridas Thakur, he was beaten in 23 marketplaces and a dead body was thrown in Ganga. And his body floated, like in Ganga you see dead body floating. His body floated in the plain sight of thousands of people. After 3 days he just woke up and got out, did a little pani hataya. So resurrection is a yogic technique. It does not belong to one person. There are many people who can resurrect themselves right now in Bharatvarsha. It comes to yoga. So disappearance pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he entered the deity of Toda Gopinath. Advaita Acharya entered the deity, no body was ever found. Advaita Acharya entered the deity of Madan Mohan. He gave 3 instructions to his followers. He says, worship the deity very nicely to all his Grihastha disciples. He had a son Achyutananda who was a sannyasi. He said, you should go and preach widely, spread this Sankirtan movement. Advaita Acharya's main purpose of coming here, the purpose in Kali Yuga is to give people Krishna holy name. Chant holy name and to give the Kahu Gorango, Lahu Gorango, Jo Jana Goranga Bhaje, Shehoya Maya. So Advaita Acharya, and he lived for 25 more years, by the way, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed away, for a total duration of 127 years.
His wife passed away before.
His wife passed away. And so, and through his sons, through his Advaita Parivar, one last pastime, Srila Prabhupada. There is this in Shantipur Advaita place, Bhavan, Advaita Bhavan. Srila Prabhupada, during his Grihastha years, when he was in Calcutta, he would regularly go to Advaita Bhavan. So this pujari from Advaita Bhavan, Sarasweta, he would see this grihastha guy who would come in kurta and khadi, and he would sit there and he would chant Harinam on his mala for many, many hours. And he would notice while he would chant Harinam, tears would stream through his cheeks and his body would tremble. But then he would call his old friend, but he didn't talk much. After doing his bhajan, he would give him a little dakshina and he would go away. And this continued for many years. But then Prabhupada took sannyas, moved to Vrindavan, this stopped. 6-7 years later, he noticed one person, sannyasi dress, little different looking, people aged, sannyas, white clothes, sannyas. The same he noticed that he chanted for a long time. And then he recognized this is his old friend. So he said, why are you crying? He said, my name is Bhakti Vedanta Swami. I'm going to America tomorrow. My Guru Maharaj has given me an impossible mission. What is this impossible mission? Is to preach Krishna consciousness in the West. It's impossible. At least it seems impossible even now. He says, so I'm praying to Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, Prabhu, and Advaita to give me some mercy. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahi Paripurna. So he's asking for Shakti. So then he said, okay, well, whatever, this is like imagine, I'm going to America to preach for Krishna consciousness, Hare Krishna. Na bhuto na bhavishyati. Nobody has ever done before and after. So then one day, devotees started coming. One day this pujari, he sees American Vaishnavas wearing dhoti, kurta, tilak, kanti mala, shikha, Americans. And they're doing tumultuous kirtan in Advaita. And then they started coming one after another. A few came, then more came, then more came. Now they're coming from France, they're coming from Europe, they're coming from Germany, they're coming from Russia, they're coming from Ukraine, they're coming from Iceland. And this pujari, somebody gave him, they're preaching, they gave him Back to Godhead magazine. And on the Back to Godhead magazine, at the back of it, he sees his old friend, Bhaktivedanta Swami. So he has done it. He went to Mayapur. He said, I want to tell you this story. Prabhupada disciple Mula Prakriti wrote about that in her memoir. She was the one who actually received this pujari. She said, I want to tell you a story. I said, I want to tell you about what happened in 1920s and 30s and 40s. He said, I couldn't believe it. So my friend had done at the age of 71. At the age of 71, I'm going to start a spiritual institute. Most people thought he was crazy. So, Advaita Acharya's mercy, my hope is that for myself and for everybody, that we should have a little mission for ourselves. What I want to do, everybody, mission, personal mission. Personal mission, personal vision. This is how I'm going to spread the mission of Advaita Acharya and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. It was Advaita Acharya who brought Mahaprabhu. It is Sadashiva and Mahavishnu who was calling Narayan to come, to descend, Krishna to descend, Radha and Krishna. He set the stage, he preached, he opened the school, he formed the basic infrastructure which was needed for Mahaprabhu to thrive and to flourish and to preach. And every year, 4 months of the year, he would spend it in Sankirtan. Devotees, thank you so much for listening. This is a little bit about Advaita Tattva, Advaita Acharya, some pastimes of Advaita Acharya with Haridas Thakur, Nityananda Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anything to discuss or any questions?
I just want to mention that after being renounced from Katwa under Asher Bharati, when Sri Krishna Chaitanya by trick was already mentioned to Advaita Acharya's home, Chaitanya was behaving differently. He wants to say, no, I want to go to Vrindavan. He doesn't want to recognize. He is totally in different mode. I'm sannyas. I will not take any food. So this made Advaita Acharya very hurt. And he told Mahaprabhu that I am the one who brought you with so much love and devotion, and you are don't want to stay at my home. One day you will come to my home, my family as my son, as our son. So 10th generation of Advaita Acharya's family. I think his third son was married. 2 sons were married. And his name is Hare Krishna Goswami, a great Vaishnava saint in 1830s, that period. So 1830s, I exactly don't remember. Hare Krishna Goswami was Advaita Acharya's family lineage. Another great Vaishnava.
Vijay Krishna Goswami
Vijay
Maharaj Ji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There's a kirtan.
Yes, yeah. So we'll end the kirtan. His Grace Premvilas Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna devotees, Mataji's car is blocked by somebody's car in back. Toyota Camry. She wants to move. Please. Thank
You?
Sitting. Devotees, can you all please sit? Mr. Bhajan and-